Legalizing cannabis. Well, it has been debated in our state legislature several times, but every year that it's come up, it has failed.
That is still not stopping Democratic lawmakers who plan to once again file cannabis access legislation.
State Capitol reporter Chris O'Brien here's why these leaders believe Tennessee should act fast and legalize it.
It never quite leaves the conversation here in Tennessee.
We're surrounded by states that have already done that, and then of course we have proximate states that now have legalized medical marijuana, so we're almost an island here.
And now there's new legislation coming to try and introduce cannabis access to our state.
It's a full legalization of cannabis across the state.
Representative Bob Freeman and Senator Heidi Campbell, both Nashville Democrats, plan on filing the bill in the very near future. One of the reasons is the belief that eventually the federal government will legalize cannabis. If that happens, Tennessee would theoretically miss out on tax revenue more than it is right now.
Let's not delude ourselves that people aren't, crossing the border and, getting cannabis from other states. Of course they are. So that's just income that we're missing out on.
Freeman says one reason he wants to pass the bill is because it disproportionately affects people of lower income.
If you live in a wealthy part of the state and a wealthy community in our city, the odds of you getting a slap on the wrist and nothing happening is pretty high. If you live in a poorer neighborhood and you get picked up with cannabis, you're going to jail.
Freeman feels mildly confident about its passage. On a scale of 1 to 10?
A solid 7, 7.5.
Though Campbell wasn't as optimistic.
I'm pretty low. I won't give you a number, but I have no delusions that we're going to pass it this session.
She says regardless, it's important to keep the conversation around cannabis alive. In Nashville, Chris O'Brien.
Now remember, this bill has not been filed quite yet, but it is coming. Once it does, we'll have some reaction from lawmakers who are against the passage of cannabis as well. The bill will then head to session, which starts in January.